unfolding, the way that, at least early where you thought they were, and then all of a sudden, things start diverging from where you think they might be going, and, it's, you don't want to put the cart before the horse there, sort of thing, but then, when pick 7 comes and pick 8, and all of a sudden the person that you're going to get, it's a pretty exciting feeling to know that, the last couple of draft meetings and everything, going through the type of player that Nikolai is, and then meeting him several times. I had the opportunity to watch him personally several times as well, so it was a real exciting moment, for our franchise, and certainly when Marcel Como, reached over to my left and said to me, "We're getting a really good player here." When you get that kind of confidence from your head scout, it's an exciting time.
So in your eyes, what did you see when you went to watch him, and what were your scouts telling you about it?
I found myself becoming more of a fan when I watched him play, because anytime he got the puck, you felt like something's going to happen here. There's going to be a play. There's going to be a play to the net. He's got dynamic speed. He really has quick hands. He's not afraid to take it to the net. He's not the biggest guy when it comes to to size, but he plays with such good hockey sense that he knows when to take an opportunity to go and not really put himself in harm's way to try and make a play there. So it was an exciting time. I watched him play in the playoffs, actually, and he just does so many things on the ice that create excitement.
How high was he on the ice?
Pardon me?
How high was he?
Well, again, I don't sit here and divulge our list, but it is something that, again, needless to say that, as it started to unfold, the excitement levels started to rise.
So that you have never told us where Jacob was on your list, but you have told us that as you got closer, you knew that Jacob, if he got to, you were going to take him if he was there. Was this a similar situation?
There was zero hesitation. The moment that, the moment that Toronto made their pick, it was, really wasn't even any, usually you'll sit there and you'll look around the table and say, okay, is this good? Is this good? Is this good? There wasn't any of this, is there good? We'd had such long discussions about, the list, because we felt that, with this draft that it could really veer off in many different directions. So, we had those kind of discussions already, so that, we felt that we were very strong with, how it unfolded, and where our list stood at that time.
Why did you take the full 3 minutes?
We don't have a choice in that.
You don't have a choice.
I
didn't understand.
There was a lot of talk that Florida was willing to trade that pick because that's the player that they really wanted. Did that scare you at all, that maybe that might happen and you might not get him?
You can't really worry about that. Like, again, you build your list and you go off of it, and it is something that is unpredictable at this point in time. So, I guess, partly hearing that there was other teams obviously interested. Again, he's a good player. It wasn't one of those things where we had to really search to say, okay, is this guy, good, or he really jumps out at you every time you go to watch him play. So, again, it was, I think we're fortunate to get him.
You always say you can't rush development, but you probably have an idea of, where he might be. So could you, not too fine a point on it, but an ETA for when he might be ready to join your NHL team?
Well, obviously he's an interesting player. He's not, he doesn't have a lot of weight on him, so certainly you're going to want him to, to continue to grow in those regards. But he's a pretty strong player. Like he's, the way he plays the game and the way that he moves out there, he actually has, some hidden strength that that a lot of players maybe his size don't. So again, his skating ability is dynamic. His skills are dynamic. I think he's going to be, an exciting player. I think, come development camp, you're really going to be excited to come and watch him, watch him compete, at the development camp.
Do you have an offer to move up, or maybe even as high as number 1?
We, it was an interesting time here. The dynamic of the draft this year was very different because, usually, teams will talk about, well, maybe we would look at moving our pick, but Florida was pretty open about, they wanted to see what, maybe they could get. And, so certainly, we had conversations, to see what, what the possibilities of moving up were. When you have players that are high on your list that your scouts are very, very excited about. You try to do whatever you can to see if it's a possibility. Similarly, as the picks were starting to unfold, and the draft started to maybe diverge a little bit from from what maybe conventional people think or whatever, but I got some calls to potentially move down and maybe pick up a pick or two later in the draft, but we quickly dismissed those because we were pretty excited about how things potentially could unfold at that